is up, YouTube? On today's episode, we have some pretty interesting stories for you. So we have an update on the Zelda movie, as well as a pretty big, a pretty big leak, a potential leak from Riddler Q. We have all of the Mega Evolutions, or the leaked Mega Evolutions for Pokemon Legends ZA. Some of them with typings. As well as more evidence that Xbox is basically going third party at this point, and some other stories to talk to you about today on today's episode. Well, let's get on into it. What is up, YouTube? My name is Mario, aka the Loot Box Hero. Check out the second channel. The second channel is popping, aka the Real Super Mario, aka YouTube's greatest fat man here, bringing you another video. All right, so let's get all into this real quick. So, first off, we have the update on the Legend of Zelda. So, at the Nintendo Direct, Nintendo dropped a brand new app. The Nintendo Now, I believe it's like a Nintendo Today. It's a Nintendo calendar, and it's a way for them to relay small bits of information to you that they can't necessarily do in a direct. So you know how like the Mario movie, the Switch 2, the Zelda movie, the Mario movie sequel, all these things were technically announced in like random posts from like Miyamoto or Furukawa. Well, now they're probably going to do that on the Nintendo Now, Nintendo Today app. So that's pretty cool. Now, the first one that they did was a pretty big one, and that was that the Legend of Zelda movie is hitting theaters on March 26, 2027. It's time to start fan casting. So who do you think should play the Princess of Hyrule? I've done an entire fan cast video on this entirely too early because nobody watched it. Check it out. All right, I think I did a pretty good fan cast. Tell me what you think. You know what I'm saying? You know, if I could probably do another one because I did that one like right when the movie was announced. So I probably could do another one. But yeah, you can check that out as well, probably after this video. But yeah, so the Zelda movie is coming. All right. So we move on into the Pokemon phase of this video. So we're gonna start off with the GOAT, the OG. The uncrowned king of Pokemon leaks, Riddler Q. He dropped this one, and he says, "I am L." So basically, this is the scene. If you don't know, this is the scene from Death Note, the anime where L reveals that he is L to Kira, and basically, Death Note is like a detective, like crime thriller, where this kid named Kira or Light. He gets a book known as the Death Note where he can write people's names in it and they die. So he goes on this like, he gets this god complex and starts killing all the people he believes are the wrong people in the world. And so then this detective named L is looking for him and basically kind of figures him out. And then things get really weird at the tail end of the series. But this is the scene where he reveals that he is L to Kira. All right, because he's kind of sort of on to him at this point. But as far as Pokemon goes, this is kind of a reference to Lysander coming back. So when he says I am L, he's talking about Lysander. Because remember, Legend ZA is Generation 6 game, so Lysander is coming back. Now, if you remember in X and Y, Lysander technically dies, okay? Even in the anime, like Lysander, he dies. Like he's super dead. Like he's not surviving this. Okay, all right. But what happened to him in X and Y? You know. But it looks like he's gonna come back some kind of way. So we're gonna get a scene in Legend ZA where it says somehow Lysander has returned. Oh no. But so yeah, this is actually pretty big. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Lysander's not connected to Jet or to Vinny. I would not be surprised in one bit, you know. All right, so we move on to the the Mega Evolution. So we have the list from Centro of all of the Mega Evolutions that have been leaked over the series of leaks over the past couple of days or past week or so. And again, these aren't confirmed because, I mean, they're just kind of leaks. The only confirmed ones we have are the starters and Victor Bell that have been confirmed through several different other leakers. So we have Clefable, which I think is going to be pretty interesting because they said Clefable. Well, I'm going to get into that in a little minute. So Clefable, Starmie, Victor Bell, Dragonite, Meganium, Feraligatr, Skarmory, Frostlass, Emboar, Scolipede, Excadrill, Electros, Scrafty, Chandelure, Chestnut, Delphox, Greninja, Pyro, Malamar, Babarica, Dragalge, which that jig would be cool. It better be like a freaking massive like coral dragon. You know what I'm saying? It looks like some kind of like coral Borg cube hybrid thing. Bro, they better make it look cool, bro, because Dragalge he's low-key one of my favorite Pokemon, you know what I'm saying? Hawlucha, Eternal Flower Floette, Zygarde, Drampa, and Phalanx. So those are all of the Megas that have been leaked so far. Now, of course, some of these Megas we actually have typings for. So Clefable is going to be fire, fairy, and flying. So that means that Clefable's going to get like wings of some sort. I'm kind of hyped for this because Clefable has a weird part of Pokemon history for me because my first introduction to Pokemon was the Clefable episode. That was the first episode I ever saw. All right. You know what I'm saying? Because my friends told me about the Pokemon anime when we were kids. All right. And so by the time I got around to actually looking at the show, you know, I was homesick. I had strep throat because it used to come on like 2:30. You know, you get off of school like 3:45 or whatever. And so I watched it. That was the Clefable. It was the Clefairy episode, the Mount Moon episode with the scientist man. My first introduction to Pokemon, period. And 30 years later, I'm still here. So I might run Clefable just for that. You know what I'm saying? But Fairy Flying is pretty cool. All right, that's a pretty cool typing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's see. It gives it some added weaknesses, though, because you got that electric, ice, rock weakness. But also, you're immune to ground. You know what I'm saying? And then you can hit, like, a bunch of other things. You can hit, like, grass, bug, fighting, which could be a pretty good thing for a fairy type. There's a lot to work with there. I'm kind of interested to see, especially since Clefable has been pretty good in like VGC at some point. So this could bring it back. So Meganium is a grass fairy. Everybody kind of said this. Feraligatr is actually gonna get the water dragon typing. So this would be pretty crazy. Now I think I've said before that if if Feraligatr was going to get a regional, it wouldn't get the dragon type. All right, because they don't usually do that for the regionals, right? If it was going to get a regional evolution, it would probably been like poison or something. But since it's getting Omega and there is no regionals, Water Dragon is like, yeah, I can see that. All right, you know what I'm saying? And Babarica is going to get rock fighting. So it's kind of interesting that we have these typings, but we don't have Emboar. All right. I've seen some things, but I haven't seen like a confirmed, like from some credible people, what the typing is. It could just be firefighting, but that would be kind of lame. You know what I'm saying? Some people are saying it might be Fire Ghost because that's the new pattern now. You know what I'm saying? That's the new pattern because Typhlosion was Fire Ghost. You know, the Fuecoco evolution was Fire Ghost. This one could be Fire Ghost too. So you never know. All right, so we move on to the Switch 2. We got some Switch 2 stories. So a lot of in light of the Switch 2 event in a couple days, a lot have been leaking out about the Switch 2, and I missed it mainly because I was down. I had some technical issues, and I've been down for several days. This is the first full day of me being back on the internet. All right, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have any internet for a little minute, so we back now though. Of course, if you want to continue, getting videos from me, follow me at twitter.com/RSMario128. Like my video tweet, share my video tweet, and I will shout you out at this portion of the video. As well as, like, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Do all that kind of stuff to help us in the algorithm. Because, the YouTube algorithm is trash and it hates me. So, it is what it is, though. But on to the Switch 2 stuff. We have Still Euphoria 400. So apparently the C button on the Switch is to call Luigi. This feature will enable Luigi to beat the level for you. So I'm not sure if that's the case. Like, I feel like more than likely it's going to be like some kind of AI thing, right? Where like, you'll get hints. Like, if you need help, you'll get hints from Luigi. Because a lot of video games are doing the AI thing. One of the videos that I'm going to do this week is about Copilot getting integrated into Overwatch. That is something that came out a week or so ago that nobody really talked about. But Copilot is going to get integrated into Overwatch 2, and it's going to be able to give you tips and hints to help you be better at the game. And from what I saw, it's kind of trash. It's kind of trash, bro. But I think that's what the C button could possibly do. You know what I'm saying? So that way, if you're getting stuck on a level, you can hit the C button, and if there is, like, some tips available, the AI will scrape for them and try to help you. And that could be what it is. Or it could be a communication function, which is possible. But Call Luigi sounds like the perfect name for an AI hint function on the Switch 2. Alright, so more on Switch 2. So at the Direct, they announced virtual game cards was going to be a new thing that was coming to the Switch. And so we got some information on that from Stealth. He said, revealed in the fine print of the virtual game card system, Switch 2 will have exclusive games and Switch 2 edition games. This suggests that certain games are going to be enhanced when played on Switch 2. So this is something that we all kind of knew anyway, especially with the Terra leaks. The Terra leaks had already mentioned, Super Gaia and Super Ikaku, which are basically going to be like Switch 2 enhanced versions of those games. There's also, for years now, there have been rumors that there's going to be a definitive edition of Scarlet and Violet that's going to be on the Switch 2. It's going to have, full graphical support, running on better hardware, all the DLC, all that kind of stuff. Maybe even a new DLC, let me dream, okay? So in the fine print, it says available compatible systems must be linked to a Nintendo account to use virtual game cards, Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games, and Nintendo Switch Edition games can only be loaded on a Nintendo Switch 2 system. So this basically says that there is going to be Switch 2 games, which, I mean, that's a no-brainer. I mean, why make a new system if you're going to make all the games playable on the old system? And there's going to be Switch 2 versions of Switch 1 games. So this is pretty huge. Like, we all kind of expected this, but seeing it, become real is kind of huge. So more on the Switch 2, and this one could be a little bit worrying because it seems a little weird, but it says Nintendo Switch 2 will have a 3-phase launch plan for its games. So it's with Nintendo Switch 2 just 1 week from its official full reveal. This year's annual GDC is buzzing with talk around the future of the console. One such discussion is around was around the Nintendo Switch launch date, which according to some people is going to be in June. But that's not all according to various sources. The Nintendo Switch will launch its games in 3-phase strategy, starting with primarily the first-party games on launch. According to sources, the second stage will arrive in October-November for the third-party studios, most of which are expecting dev kits for the Switch 2 to be sent in June. Finally, it was said that the third phase for the games will be in the holiday period. Now, I don't really like this. All right, I know it's a rumor, but I don't think that any studio working on a Switch game that's coming out this year doesn't have dev kits yet. All right, now I know that games are made like, on PC or like high end like PCs or PCs that are specced out to be close to whatever the console is. But if they don't have dev kits yet, you expect this game to come out in 2025? No, dog, I don't know about that. Like, nah, that sounds crazy. Not to mention having this tiered rollout for the launch seems kind of crazy, because like that would mean that there won't be a lot of third party support at launch. You know what I'm saying? Which could be a bad thing, because I mean, even though Nintendo has some of the best games on the market, you still want that third party experience to help sell the system. You know what I'm saying? You still want things like Madden. You want Call of Duty. That's a deal. That has to happen, because that's a legally binding thing. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't like this. I hope this is not real. All right, so next story we have is here's the Steam on Xbox evidence Microsoft didn't want you to see. We're gonna give you some stuff that the Microsoft deep state didn't want you to see. While the image appears to be a mock-up with own games listed twice as well as action-adventure titles, I don't think the Steam label here is necessarily a mistake. Sources familiar with Microsoft's plans tell me that the company is currently working on an Xbox app update that will show every game you have installed on your PC. That includes games from Steam, EGS, and I understand Microsoft will label these games accordingly. So basically, this is Microsoft's way of trying to more integrate itself as like the hub of PC gaming. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't really like. You know what I'm saying? I think that Microsoft should just kind of stay where you at and just let Steam kind of be where it's at. But the fact that Steam is going to be integrated into Xbox, it kind of doesn't make sense, because I mean, how does Microsoft make any money off of this? Because that means that you could buy a Steam game where all the money goes to Steam, okay, all the money goes to Valve and the developers, and play it on your Xbox. Xbox is not making any money from this. They're not making any money from this at all. Like, I don't understand Xbox's strategy, bro. Like, this could be some 4D chess, or this could be like idiocy. All right, like they're essentially just going third party. You know, so now Steam is coming to Xbox. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, dog. Now, of course, that it's gonna be funny watching people play The Last of Us or Horizon, you know what I'm saying, on their Xbox, because of course, you can buy those games on PC on Steam. So technically you can play PlayStation games on Xbox now. I guess that's a thing, but still though, I don't really understand how Xbox wins this. All right, and the big conversation that has been had over the last couple of days or a week or so, AI. So AI art has been going around, specifically the Ghibli stuff. And people have been talking about it. Personally, I hate AI. All right, I hate AI generated art. I use AI on my thumbnails sometimes, specifically on the Clips channel, mainly because by the time I get to working on Clips channel stuff, I am tired and I don't feel like thinking. So I will AI a thumbnail for the Clips channel in a heartbeat. But you know what I'm saying? As far as using AI as a major art tool, I don't like it. AI could be used to help make some things, but there are whole anime now that are in AI. There's an anime coming out this season, the spring season, that is a fully AI generated anime, and it looks like trash. All right, and then you have people like XQC, who he has a very interesting take on this. He says, it says XQC believes AI art is already a better product than what most artists make. Why do I care? I don't consume the method, I consume the product. He's not wrong, but it's like the product itself is kind of trash. Like this Ghibli stuff, it looks okay, but it doesn't have the heart of Ghibli. Like there's something missing. It looks like Ghibli. Like your brain sees it and it says Ghibli, but it's missing something. You can clearly tell that it's not actually Ghibli. This wasn't drawn by a person. You could tell. You know what I'm saying? It just feels off. You know what I'm saying? It's like it hits like a, I don't know, I can't really call it the uncanny valley, but it does hit something where it's like I'm looking at it, I'm seeing Ghibli, but it's off. It's just weird. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention there's a bunch of legalities when it comes to AI because, of course, technically it's getting this information, it's creating these pictures by scraping little bits and pieces of actual Ghibli data. So actual Ghibli footage from all over the internet is being scraped to create this, you know, this husk of art. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's terrible. I think it's terrible. I think there are uses for it. I don't like it. Is XQC wrong with his take? Not necessarily. All right, because people aren't consuming the method of how art is made. They're consuming the art. But the art itself, in my opinion, the art is kind of trash. So that's about it for this. Tell me what you think down in the comments down below. I'm going to try to, make more now that we're fully back online and everything is back up and running. I'm going to try to pump some more content out. The challenge for this week is to get a video out every day, Monday through Friday. Let's see if we can do that. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real.